It's about 10:30 today on Monday, March 4th, 2024. And I moved the sheep. I counted them too when I moved them. I'm proud of myself. I counted 27, so I don't know how. It's supposed to be 28, but I don't know how good my count is. Sheep are all together except my St. Croix. So I don't know if you guys can see. Let me zoom in and show you what's going on here. That cow in the distance, the 3 cows decided to jump the fence. There's a spot that was kind of low because of the hill, and they just jumped the fence and started grazing behind the pond. 2 of the rams, my St. Croix rams, are with them, and they're kind of all spread out. They're gonna work their way throughout that back pasture. But I tried to get them back in the row, and they came, and then they just jumped the fence again. So I'm gonna have to use a different strategy. Maybe what I'll do is I'll set up an airlock at that corner of the fence and try to get the cows in the airlock and then let them in here. That might work. All the puppies are here, all 7 of them. Hindu and Nutmeg are here. They're tied to a tire. Snowball is here too. So we got all the sheep except the St. Croix and all the dogs all together in this one pen. This pen size is about 500 feet east-west and about 150 feet north-south. So that's 75,000 square feet, which I don't know how many acres that is, but 75,000 square feet. And the grass is growing really well. I saw a lot of clover out here as I set up the wires. This is hairy vetch, I believe. This is all over the place. Hairy vetch is a type of legume. It's pretty good working with grass. It doesn't last in the summer. The only legume that I've heard of that really lasts into the summer is Korean lespedeza. Good luck trying to find that stuff. Greg Judy has some on his land, and he really likes it, but I can't seem to find any seeds for it. But yeah, here's a patch of clover. There's clover all over the place here. But you can see the sheep, they're all kind of spread out here. Means they're comfortable. Lots of grass to graze on. They'll be here for 2, maybe 2.5 days, and then I'll move them to the next section. Oh, they have hay. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but I kind of spread it out for them in case they wanted to eat some. If I imagine if I got the bulls in here, they'd be pretty happy with the hay. But they are being bullheaded right now. I don't, pardon my puns, I double down on them. Sometimes the goat gets caught in that wire when I set it up. I have to knock it back. So this should keep the dogs from crossing the wire, but I'm pretty upset with Hindu and Nutmeg, so I'm going to keep them tied up for a while. And then, yeah, they're not doing. They broke 2 posts by wrapping their rope around the post, and then applying force. So I'm not happy with them right now. They're breaking my posts, messing up my wires. I need to tighten this guy a little bit more. Let's see which one that is. So I'm kind of showing you how this wire is put together with 2 reels. And let's see, each reel is about 1,250 feet more or less. You could put a 1/4 mile on a reel. So that's not good. That is not what I wanted to do. Fixing this one-handed is kind of hard. I'm just going to leave this for now. Hopefully the animals won't sneak out there. Those are famous last words, aren't they? Yeah, I got to do something about this corner. But there should be plenty of grass here. The sheep should have very little temptation to leave this area. So I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast. And probably walked at least 2 miles so far today, just setting up this fence. So I'm not used to walking that far. I'll have to get used to it. Let's fix this here. Yeah. Maybe put a post in here. It's a little low. So I put the post 20 steps apart. That's 10 paces. My paces are about 6 feet. My steps are about 3 feet. So they're about 20 yards apart, which you really can't go much further than that. Otherwise it sags too much. And the reason why I did that is I didn't know if I had enough posts, and so I think I put probably 12 down for this entire distance. So if I have 12 more, I can put them every 10 steps, which is probably better, because the sheep, they like to explore the fence. So, famous last words. I think I'm going to put it off till later, because there's another phrase in farming: good enough is perfect. So if this is good enough, then there's no reason to do any more. And I have a couple other projects I need to work on. One is building that chute for the sheep. Why is this sparking? Oh, it's just hit the grass. Yeah. So I need to sort these sheep, figure out what to do with the lambs, which ones to keep, which ones to sell, which ones to eat. I want to eat one of them, see what they taste like. And then see what I got in the way of ewes. Just do a better job of cataloging them, you know. So this ewe has had a puffy butt for a while now. I don't know what that means. You know, I was talking about this with my sister-in-law. She raises sheep as well. We're all new at it. We don't know what we're doing, but she said one of her ewes has been ready to give birth for like 2 months now. And she doesn't understand how that's possible. And I said, well, you know, that older ewe I have that just gave birth a couple weeks ago, I thought she was going to give birth for about 2 or 3 months before she finally did. It's a pretty baby lamb there. You know. Anyway, I need to get the St. Croix out here with the sheep and keep them together for a longer period of time than just a couple days. And I think the 4 wires will do it if I can get them together. And I didn't want to mess with the older ewe because of the lambs, but I think the lamb is old enough now that I can mess with her and it won't affect the lamb at all. So, are those two good? No, those are ewes. They're ramming heads against each other. I guess they're having a disagreement. You know. So I was studying about sheep, and a couple things that are interesting that I think I want to take advantage of. Number one is something called the ram effect. And what the ram effect is if you keep your rams far away from the sheep for 6 weeks, right? And then you introduce the rams, and you can even introduce wethers, you know, castrated rams. The sheep, the ewes, will all go into an estrus cycle at the same time. And so if you time it just right, you could have all of your lambs like within a couple days of each other, you know. The other thing I learned is that there's about a 60 to 70% chance of conception every estrus cycle for the sheep. So typically people put the rams on for 2 cycles. And because sheep are so productive, they'll just pull the ewes that don't breed, you know. Even though there's, you know, a good chance that they don't breed. They need to cull that many anyway, you know. And the one website I was following is Sheep 201 or something like that, I think it's called. They have a whole bunch of criteria they use for culling their ewes. And it's anything from the size isn't quite right to the hooves are too long to their bag isn't big enough or something like that. And they cull aggressively. They don't They don't have room on their farm for slow pokes or anybody that's not perfect. You know what I mean? And so I think at some point I'll have to start doing that as well, just aggressively culling not just the cows but the sheep too. So further refining the breed, the genetics in my herd. What are you guys doing? If you guys want these puppies, they're free. Just you got to come by and pick them up. So I can't keep them all. I can only keep one or two. That's all I need anyway. And then I'm gonna get Hindungi Nutmeg to breed together, or worst case Snowball and Nutmeg to breed. I see that Snowball's getting interested in Nutmeg there. And did that rope wrap around her? Sure did. Let me get her untangled. Silly dog. Yeah, his hormones are kicking in. Nutmeg, you'll breed with any dog but Hindungi, right? Let me get you untangled. Here. Here. Yeah. Here, come this way and come this way. There. You're almost done. Okay. There. I got a rope and a backup rope because she breaks the ropes. I'm gonna go to the store now and buy some good sturdy ropes, probably 100 feet long, so that they can, get the water and the food if they're on opposite sides of the field. My goodness, are you starting to cycle there, Nutmeg? Well, either one of these dogs, you can breed with either one of them. I won't care. They all have good genetics, All right, guys, that's all I have for you. Take care. Bye-bye.